Welcome to another edition of Grace Under Pressure, where my guest today is Hortense le Gentil. I will tell you about her in a moment. Those of you who have watched the show know that Grace focuses on the soft stuff, the kind of stuff we ignore from time, the caring, the commitment that we show one another. And when you are a leader, it's important to do that for the good of the team and energize them as you go along. So welcome, Hortense.
Hello, John.
Good.
Delighted to be here.
Great. I want to tell everybody about you. Hortense le Gentil is the author of the widely acclaimed book, Aligned, Connecting Your True Self with the Leader You're Meant to Be. What a great title. Hortense works with decision makers around the world to help them with authenticity by finding and closing the gap between what you are as a leader and what you want to be. Hortense's executive coaching is formed by 30 years in business. I don't believe that. I think it's more like 10 because you're not old enough to look like that. Anyway, she's worked in name an industry she works with. He works at the C-level and the C-suites. Entrepreneur startup focuses on self-awareness and helping people become more aligned with themselves. Sounds simple, but it's not. She's a member like me of the Marshall Goldsmith Executive Coaches. She's a management guru in Global Gurus and a Marshall Goldsmith Top 50 Coaches in the World. Welcome, Hortense.
Thank you, John. And again, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
We always say this, we're in the second year of our pandemic and we're getting tired, but we're all under pressure. So what are you finding with the executives that you work with, Hortense?
Yeah, I think everybody is exhausted today. So it's difficult. We have, when the first crisis is finished, the second is coming. So we don't see the end. And I see a lot of, tired. And of course, we have to deal with the illness and depression because we cannot see the future. And, when you cannot see future, at one point, depression is coming. So all the leaders today are facing this unbelievable problem and they are not educated to do it, not trained to do it. So this is a big difficulty today.
Great. So when people come to you, and because you work with people at the top of the house who are responsible for lots of people, and our friend Marshall Goldsmith always says it's lonely at the top, but it's even more lonely, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And they really need support. So this is something that, what I recommend and what we are working on is really to take care of yourself. So as a leader, you never think about that because our education never say, we were never told that we have to take care of ourselves. But think, when you are in a plane and we are in the middle of a turbulence, you are asked to put the mask first, to put the oxygen on yourself first. Take care of yourself before you're taking care of your kids and the person who are near you. It's exactly the same. So, yeah.
That's a valuable point. And, because very well from your work that leaders are outward directed. So the people they ignore the most, other than their family sometimes, are themselves. So how do you reach somebody that says, Hortense, I don't have time to do this?
It's a necessity. So you don't have time to take care of yourself. So, it's obvious. Think about it. You feel exhausted. How can you help others if you are depressed yourself, or if you are not taking good care, or if you are always, running everywhere? You need to stop. You really need to stop. So I said, you at least try. And when you try, you adopt it. Because, yeah.
What I found too is that get them away from thinking about themselves in the sense that you want to serve your team, which is good, and leaders are well intended, but you can't do it if you're not your best. Am I correct? So
absolutely. So because I think as you think, John, of course, the first mission of our leaders is to take care of their team. So how can you take care of others if you don't take care of yourself? So 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 exactly what we said.
And great. So let's get to alignment. It's a topic I've written about, but organizationally, not personally. So tell me about alignment personally. So
Alignment is, did you never felt in a role, really connected with who you truly are? So it's really connected with your true self. Who are you? Somebody said, be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. I think it's Oscar Wilde who said that, because we all have a unique talent, a unique genius. So we have to connect with our true self. And what's happened is, it's like the surfer. You take, the perfect waves. What's happened? You feel joy. You feel, that you are sure that you are the right person at the right moment, at the right place. I'm sure all of us, we already, experiences that. So this is what I call by alignment. It's really being yourself. Being connected with your value, with who you are, with what you want, with the leader you want to be. So take time to reflect on that.
And what you say makes good sense and all of that, but it takes work, and that's the point of your book. Am I correct? So
yeah, absolutely, because it takes time and it takes work. So first, of course, you have to think about it. So to go back to yourself and say, okay, what I really want, what are my values, what kind of leader I want to be, how do you want to be remembered? This is something very important. Imagine your eulogy and what you want at the funeral. People are talking about you, and all kind of people. So take you, because we are not, the person who is going to work or the person at home. I am always myself at home, or whatever I'm doing, and this is the important point. And from there, if you don't know how to, because it's not easy, it takes a time, it takes a journey to exactly know who you are. And but think about your eulogy and how you want to be remembered, and what people are going to tell the day of your funeral. Okay, it's not very happy moment, but this is very interesting to think about that, because of course what is going to happen is you're going to I'm not sure that you're going to say, oh, I want to be remembered like the one who increased the price and the profit of my company.
yeah, I love this, because I always do that. I love the analogy of the eulogy. And I heard a joke the other day that I've never seen a funeral with a Brinks truck behind it.
Yeah,
But
this is it.
and how do you want to be remembered? As someone that never missed a meeting, or someone who helped others get forward? But by focusing on eulogy really is our legacy, is it not? So
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. It's our legacy. Yeah, absolutely.
And do you find that when you speak about legacy, that resonates more with people in the C-suite than it does in middle management, or any difference? So
Any difference, because you can begin even when you are 15 years old. So no difference.
yeah. That's great, because I have the same philosophy that your legacy begins. Well, it's you add to it every day, and it's it's the pluses and the minuses, and you hope the pluses outweigh the minuses. So
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so in the old days they used to give your. I have a picture, or mental picture, because I saw it. My grandfather, when he retired, and literally was given a gold watch, and that was a long time ago. So they don't give watches anymore.
Yeah.
So what is your legacy? That's so.
What is your legacy? Yeah, this is something that you.
So
you
okay. So what happens if we are not in touch with ourselves? What goes wrong? So
when you're you are not yourself, and you feel maybe angry, you don't sleep well, you are always complaining, it's always think about it. If it's always other faults and you are like a victim, something at one point is wrong. So you feel unsatisfied, you don't feel really joy. You have this feeling that something is missing. You are not where you should be.
Right. It's a kind of friction inside of us that holds us back, and
Absolutely.
it's as we call it an energy drain. It pulls us away. So
Absolutely.
why do we have trouble? I mean, it's what you're saying is so obvious, and I don't mean that flippantly, but I want to be aligned, but what's holding us back from doing that, John? So
I think that first we are unconscious of it. So we are talking about it today, but the first thing is to be conscious. And after we just don't know how to do it, and we don't allow ourselves, I think, to do it. So we sometimes maybe we want, but we say no, I cannot because a lot of things.
And do you think it's a fear factor? I'm that I'm not really. I don't trust myself. Does it come from that? Do you think insecurity or something?
Can be a insecurity, but can be also, the image that the other, reflects. So we are all, we grow up with an environment, and we are all influenced by our education, our parents, the way the others are looking at you. Or if I look at you, John, and I think, okay, John, I want you to be a doctor. And, you don't want to be a doctor. And one day you decide, okay, I would prefer to be an artist. It's difficult to take this decision. So, because even if you know exactly that it is what you want, you know that you're going to face your parents' vision, and you're not going to be happy, and they're not going to be happy. You want to satisfy others. You want to be exactly like others see you, but it's not being yourself.
Right. Now, you know something about alignment. It certainly began early in your life. And that's you have a career as a show jumper. So tell us about that, and then how it led you to where you are now. So.
Yeah, when I was young, I was passionate by horses. So horses are very special. This sport is very special because you are two beings. So you have to connect. You have to feel empathy. And the horse is feeling what you're feeling, and you're feeling what he's feeling. And this is all the game, is how you can connect each other. And when you are connected, you can work. And how we can work. And for example, in show jumping, it's exactly like in surfing. When you take the perfect jump and you feel you prepared, and everybody in confidence is jumping, here you are, but you need to be connected to each other. You need to be aligned.
And that takes a lot of practice. So.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I've seen show jumping just a little bit, and I have friends of mine whose daughters did it, and it is remarkable. You're very brave.
No, I just love it. So yeah.
You talk about the alignment between you and the horse, the connection. Is that what led you into thinking about alignment on a executive level?
Oh, to tell you the truth, I realized that today, not today, but I mean years ago, I didn't realize that when I was a show jumper and I was riding horses. This is now that I can analyze and understand. And I think this is what is great in life, is when you map your life and you go back to your life, you understand, what you learn, where what you learn from your experience or from your failures and everything, and you begin to understand who you are. And there is no coincidence, I think. So I could just recommend to everyone, you were talking about just before how you do, where you begin. It's also mapping your life, because all the answers are there. So this is important.
What do you mean by mapping your life? I mean, going backwards or going forwards?
Backwards. Because backwards, to try to analyze, understand, the events. How did you react to the events? What did you learn from there? Even if, of course, if it was difficult, and more, if it was difficult, how did you react? And do you still? Do you think you close the door of this event? For example, if you fell somewhere and you be hurt or whatever, or do you still feel drained thinking about it. So that means that, the door is not closed. So think about it, and taking, this map and this road is helping you to understand who you are, in fact, and where you are at that moment today, and to look forward.
Great. So there's something else that related to this, I think, that gets in the way of alignment, and it's hyperactivity. Am I correct in that? So, how are you defining hyperactivity? So,
Well, for me, it's running everywhere. I had a client like that. It was exactly like I told him, "You're a chicken without head." So,
and did you have another meeting with that person?
yeah, absolutely. We had fun. We had fun. No, it was fun because he was always running. He was always doing things. It was amazing, but behind, no time to see, no time to listen, no time to reflect, no time to really communicate with his team. So already it was the head, his, and the rest of the body, the company, the teams, who were just looking at him. It's an image, of course, but
Yeah.
but just looking at him and say, "Oh, he's back. Oh, he's here. Oh, what he wants. Oh, we don't understand. Doesn't matter." So it was funny because he was not aware. So it came to me and said, "I don't understand. I'm working like crazy, and it's like nothing is done." No, I said, maybe you should stop and just meet with your team and take your time. And this is what he did, and it changed everything.
Oh, that's great. So how long did it take? I mean, I can see people who you're in my mind because we've all encountered them. So how did you reach this person? Just a simple conversation, or did he finally wear himself out or something? What happened? So
with this person, for example,
yeah.
How he came to me, or
how you connected to him, because you could say you're over busy, but too busy, but how did he understand that? So,
because he was suffering.
oh,
He was suffering. He was suffering. He was absolutely exhausted, and he tried. At one point, he said, "Okay, now I don't know. I don't know what to do." So he tried everything, didn't work. So yeah, because he was suffering. So when you're suffering, you're looking for answers.
right. That's good. So we are, as we taught it, of course, in this in our pandemic, and so we're more isolated. So how is that affecting alignment? Is it a positive or a negative or neutral? So,
well, I think that more than ever, leaders and everyone, but especially leaders, they have to be aligned. And why? Because we are in the middle of a storm. And in the middle of the storm, you are, the captain of the boat. So you have to find your true north. And your true north is who you are, is your true self, And with your true self, you come back always to your true self, reflect on that and come back on it. Take time every day to do it. And like that, you keep your true self, and you know where to go. Because, and again, in this time of crisis, of storm, this is very important.
Hortense, do you ever get people, and it might be an obvious question, and it maybe takes some courage to ask, but people who work with you say, "I don't know who I am." Do you hear that? So
no. It's not like that. It's much more. They are not aware. It's really unconscious. So, and again, they share that they're suffering from something, or they want to try something but it doesn't work, and especially in this time of crisis, because there is no playbook. So how to do it? There is no a good there is no playbook. So it's really depending of yourself, of your values. So go back to your values, who you are again. How do you do that? And every day check, have your daily question at the end of the day. Did I do my best to connect with my team, to do things, to what you decide? And the third thing is refuel. Refuel. Take time to yourself to be at the present moment. Like I have one of my clients, for example, was every day he took 10 minutes sitting by the windows, looking outside, take a coffee, listening to his music. 10 minutes per day. And it makes all the difference.
That's so good. I mean, I'm glad you're talking about it. It's a very tactical and practical thing that all of us can do that. We can spend 10 minutes a day doing whatever or exercise, whatever that, and it's so important. And I think we again, as I said earlier, we just overlook ourselves. And so it's so hard. And if we're overlooking ourselves, we're not our best to serve other people. So that's the challenge. So anyway, you are working on some new things. Your next book is going to be called Unlocked. What does it mean to be unlocked? So.
Unlocked is really this notion of being yourself. How did you give you the permission to be yourself? Like the example before, one of my clients like that. So coming from a family of doctor, and that family of doctor, you think that your son, your kids are going to be doctor, and if one day you decide to be even a lawyer or whatever else, it's for the family, it's not good. They think that they don't look at you like, well, you're not part of the family, right? So at this moment, what did you do to allow yourself to be a lawyer in this example, for example, or an artist or whatever, because this is what I want to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. So it's an interesting title, Unlocked, and the connection is we're all in lockdown. So what's the connection there, Hortense?
Yeah, it's now because there is no lotus that grows out of the mud. So we need mud in order to make a lotus. So you have to grow on the mud. So suffering is a kind of mud we must be able to use. So we had and we have a lot those days. So what can we do with that? So I'm sure that John and you try different things. We all try different things because we had to adapt, we had to be agile. We are different leaders. So leaders are different. They know now that they have to be human. They have to be connect with people. They have to take care of their people first because people are, their team are waiting for that. So you try different things. So from there, what did you learn? And what did you unlock? What kind of permission did you give you that past year and in that moment and nowadays that you didn't give you before?
Okay. It takes courage to look at oneself deeply, does it not?
Yeah. The first thing I think I say I tell all my clients is you are courageous. So yes, because it takes courage. Yeah, of course it takes courage, a lot of courage.
Because I think the easy part, or at least with me, I'll use myself as an example. I'll look in the mirror and I go, "You look great. Could you do a little thing?" Nah, I'm all right. So, and we slough it off until my wife reminds me that I'm out of alignment. So, you have to take it seriously. It takes guts to look at yourself and your imperfections. So,
but in another way, you are you are more happy. You are more yourself. So everything's come naturally after that. So it's really when you open this door, you can close it anymore because you are not an actor. You are who you are. So who are you? So think about it and align with it.
That's great. So, and shame on me because I think you told me that alignment is now available in Audible or audio. Am I correct? So,
its audiobook is going to be released mid-February.
Okay.
Early February, mid-February.
Yeah, good.
The audiobook is going to be.
So that's good. I always like audiobooks. It's keeps me focused, and I like getting immersed in it. So that I wanted to mention that thing. So,
thank you.
Hortense, I ask all of our guests for an example of grace in their lives. Do you have something you'd like to share with us? So.
Oh, yes, I was lucky. So I had a lot of moments, but I think that first I would like to tell you that yesterday when we hear the song Grace, Amazing Grace.
Mhm.
You know, the first sentence, how sweet the words sound, resonate with me like crazy, because this just, you know, this word is resonate like that. And, you know, it's a sweet word for me. So the first thing, you remember my grandmother was always acting with grace and acting and helping others. And she was a wonderful person, especially during the war. And personally, I think I would say that Marshall Goldsmith, you know, that moment where Marshall asked me to be part of the MG 100 and part of this community, it was a moment of grace for me, and to felt part of that, recognized, and Marshall is somebody um, so generous,
Yeah.
and you know, the community he built is plenty of people, amazing people. So be part of them and learn from them, learn from Marshall. I think it's really a moment of grace. Sorry.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's something that I'm very proud of, being part of our group. And it is our first responsibility, in a sense, is to share. And sharing with an open heart, that is a form of grace, is it not? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
we have a question from a listener. So it says, in a world, if I'll read it to you, in a world of preaching self-improvement, how can we be ourselves? In other words, should you always be improving, or how do we fit into knowing who we are if we're always on this journey? I think that there's a little bit of confusion with all of us. How would you address that, Hortense?
Okay, yes. So if I understand well, the question is, how do you give you the permission to align yourself, or how do you find your alignment? What is the question exactly?
How do you find that you need to improve yourself if other people are telling you what to do, I think, or if you feel the pressure to conform? That's what it is. So.
Okay. So you don't have to feel the pressure to conform. There is a problem, I think, because it's not a question of you know, conform. Again, you know, conform means I want you to be like I'm waiting for you to be. But this has nothing to do with alignment. Alignment is be what you want to be, meant to be, because this is how you're going to be good. And so it's not a question of how you see outside of me, see me. It's me, how I want to be. And so if you're feeling this kind of things, it's the beginning of disalignment. So how can you communicate with others? It's much more belonging. How can you belong to the, I don't know, the community, where you are? How can you, which link can you make with, you know, this community, this person, or whatever? Find a link. Don't try to conform yourself. It's like being an actor. So if okay, take an actor. You know, when I was young, I took theater classes, and say when I was playing, you know, I don't know, somebody else, like a princess, whatever, I was acting like a princess because it was my play, so I had to do that. So I had to understand how this person was thinking and things like that, but nothing to do with me. I had to forget absolutely me. So it's, you know, it's almost the same. It's, you know, if you want to conform to, you know, what others want from you, no, you're just acting. And if you are acting at one point, so you're working, you are not yourself. So you don't develop your own self, your own genius. So you don't unlock yourself. You don't unleash your potential.
Right.
And you don't feel the joy you need, and you don't feel, you know, the genius. You are not connected with your genius, so you cannot give to the world what you have to give.
Great. Thank you. This we've had a conversation. It has flown by, and I thank you for joining us today, or our audience today. And how can people find you, or John? We'll put your website in the notes, but how can we find you? So.
Oh, I think the best way is my website. It's my name, Hortense le Gentil, at .com. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Who am I? That's what we always have these. Who am I?
I am not my website for sure.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And on LinkedIn, of course. And this is the best way to reach me. Yes. And thank you, John. Thank you.
My pleasure. So with that, we're going to go out, and I say thank you.
Thank you.